Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Cahill and welcome to my little corner of the writing universe. Today is the day. Today is the day that I finally take that next step on my writing journey. Today is the day that I finally enter the query trenches. I have been writing for more than half my life, and I've been writing with the dream, I guess you would say, of being a published author since I was about 20 years old, so that's a good 14 years. I've only started taking it really seriously these past few years. It feels really daunting, to be fair, to actually start taking this step. Like, I'm used to beta readers and I'm used to people reading my work. I'm not used to people judging my work, and yeah, it's okay. It'll be okay, because I have sort of started prepping for this in regards to sending my work out to professionals. I took part in PitMad in December and I applied for Author Mentor Match in January. So that sort of gave me a head start practice with queries and sending my work off and making sure everything is formatted correctly, etc, etc. So I'm feeling in a good place that I have everything sort of set, but still a very nervous little, oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually going to be doing this sort of thing in my chest. It's just like, but it'll be okay. It's a step that I need to take. We need to do this if I want to get traditionally published, and this is the first step in determining whether I will be traditionally published or whether I will eventually have to self-publish in order to get my books out there, which I don't want to take that road. I'm very bad at the social media, so I would suck at stuff like marketing. And do I have the funds to get things professionally edited and book covers and all that stuff? No, I don't. So that really is a last resort for me. This is what we have. I have spent since December last year preparing for this moment. Did you know that you don't query the same in England as you do in America? I did not know that. So the problem with living in England is that the information that you get on the internet, the things that you see in media, are majorly American. So you will look up how to query and you will get American answers and American versions and American tips. And I spent early December preparing for Author Mentor Match, and all of January and most of February trying to write the perfect query. Now, for those of you who don't know what a query is, as far as I can say with my words without having to look anything up, is a 250 word I'm gonna have to look it up. I know what a query is. I can't explain to you what a query is, so we're going to. A query letter is like a formal letter that you would send to a literary agent to sort of entice them into reading your book, and in it contains a 250 word presentation, I guess, of your book. So the protagonist and the themes and the general plot. And the job of this query is to entice the literary agents to be like, oh, that sounds like such a good idea, like, let me peruse this further. So I spent weeks trying to craft a perfect query letter, and I was looking up like Alexa Dunn's videos on YouTube, and I was looking up all of these different literary agents tips and tricks on how to write a good query letter, and I thought I was all set. Okay, then I start in mid-February researching and gathering my list of potential agents to submit to, and once I'd done that, I went through and I wrote down what they would require from me. So you'd think, oh, they'd require the query letter, and then some might require a synopsis on top of that, and then some might also require 50 pages or 3 chapters or the first chapter or something like that. So I was going through and noting it all down for my knowledge. Then as I was reading, I discovered that In England, they don't ask for a query letter. They ask for a covering letter. And I was like, okay, what's a covering letter? And a covering letter is something completely different. So I spent all my time writing a perfect query, only to find out I don't need a query. I need a covering letter. So that disappointed me. And now my query is just there like, don't need you anymore. To be fair, there's not much of a difference between a query letter and a covering letter. They both need an introduction to the manuscript. They both need a bio about yourself. The main difference is a description of the novel in the middle. Query letter, you have 250 words to play around with. In a covering letter, they want 2 to 3 lines. 3 sentences, they want an elevator pitch. So if I found it difficult to condense the main themes and character arcs and plot of my novel into 250 words, imagine how difficult it was to condense it down even further. I was not impressed. But I think I've done it. I think it's okay, but we're going to go with what we currently have, at least for this first part. The project I'm querying with is Project Body Swap, by the way, I should have mentioned earlier. So this is how it's going to go down. I have compiled a list of 29 different literary agencies to submit to. Most of them required more research, so I could choose which agency specifically send the work to, but there are a fair few which just ask you to send it to the agency and they will forward it on to the most suitable agent, which sounds fantastic. One of the other issues of living in England, I have a much smaller pool of literary agents to choose from. Literally, there's like 100 just around London alone, and I can submit to about 29 of them. Yeah. so yeah, it is a smaller pool. Hopefully that means there's a smaller pool of people, you know, submitting. So it could go either way. I don't have high hopes, to be fair, and that's not me being down on myself, that's me just trying to be realistic. So the first thing that we need to do, which is really only going to stall me a little bit more, which I don't mind, is organise all my stuff. And the way that I organise all my stuff, of course, is with my bullet journal. I like to call myself an organised person, but I'm very good at preparing to be organised as opposed to actually being organised. But yes, with all of this query stuff, I do need to be as organised as possible, because there's going to be a lot of different files and different emails to send to different people. They're going to be getting back to me at different times. I'm going to be sending more off at different times. I need to keep track of exactly where I am and what I'm doing and what has come back and what has not come back, so I can decide whether or not I'm not going to hear anything from them, etc, etc. So with the 29 literary agents that I have prepared to send off to, I'm going to be splitting them up into 6 different groups. 5 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4. And this is one group, so this is my first group that I'm sending off, is the 29. I guess it will take me about the end of the year to reach sending all of these off. We'll see how it goes and how fast they get back to me. But I'm separating all of them here into the 5 different blocks. And then each block is going to have like its own little graph on it. It's not really a graph, is it? Is it? Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. Oh my god, I hate rambling over bullet journal videos, I really do. So the information that is going into the chart, that's a much better word, are as follows. I have 1 column for the name of the agents, 1 column for the name of the agency, so I can keep track and don't accidentally choose someone else from the same agency after the fact, which is a big no-no. I will have a column for the date that I sent the query off originally. Then I have a column for whether or not the manuscript was rejected or whether the manuscript was requested to send more to, if that makes sense. A date that I hear back from them in regards to a request that there might be. And then I have a column at the end for accepted or not. So we'll really be able to keep track of when I sent it, when I heard back from them, and then as I hear back from one agent as a yes or a no, I will then send off another. So hopefully I should have around 5 queries at a time out in the world. So I have everything here detailing the literary agency that I'm submitting to and the specific agents. Here on this post-it note are the agents in the first group that I'm going to be sending to today. So my first job is to grab a random piece of paper, which it will be this random piece of paper, which is very happily nice and sunshiny and rainbowy, much like my mug today, because I need all the happiness I can get. And I'm going to go through the website, grab email addresses, and then double check that I have everything ready to send off. The one thing that always confuses me when writing stuff down is like, please send the first 3 chapters or approximately 50 pages. And it's like, okay, cool. Which one do you want? Because my first 50 pages is more than 3 chapters. So do I send 3 chapters or do I send 50 pages? I think it's whichever's more. So 3 chapters or the first 50 pages, whichever is more. Is it whichever is more? See, now I'm second guessing myself. Okay, we'll just do 50 pages. The one thing I made sure with when I'm separating everything is that I can just send the same additions to each one without having to cut and paste and go, okay, now which one needs what, which one needs 10,000 words, which one needs just the first chapter. So everyone in my first group is a synopsis, and it doesn't specify how long the synopsis is, so I can send the same synopsis. They are all 3 chapters or 50 pages, so I can make sure that my 50 pages is ready. Even though I've like quadruple checked it, I will check it again, and I don't have to worry about, am I adding the correct attachments to this correct person, because they all want the same thing. So I have my emails, I have my people, I have one person in my list who I just have to send to the agency itself. It's not a specific person. The other thing I was thinking of was, do I personalize the covering letters? I don't think you should, not with a covering letter at least, because we're British and we don't like being personal. We do like tea though, so we won't go personal, which makes things a heck of a lot easier for me. Damn, the only thing I have now to do is to really do it, isn't it? Okay, no, we're not going to do it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what we're going to send. Oh my God. Do I want to send my 2-page synopsis or my 1-page synopsis? I'll send my 1-page synopsis. That would be, oh crap, what do I know? What font do I use? Well, it's going to say Times New, no, Courier or Times New Roman. Single space paragraphs, double space between each paragraph. Okay, I'm not gonna, okay. So now I need to make sure you're in Times New Roman anyway. So my 50 pages is already in Times New Roman. Doesn't matter about the covering letter because that's going in the body of the email. And I need to change you to also Times New Roman is just the safe bet, right? Times New Roman is safe. Okay, you are also Times New Roman. You are double. You are, oh bloody hell, you were double spaced as well. Okay. Okay, oh damn it, I don't want to be here this quickly. I do believe we are, oh, why is that 51 pages? I had 50 pages, what are you doing to me? Oh, okay, something's gone wrong. Right, I'm going to fix this and we'll be back. Here's my issue with the 3 chapters of 50 pages, because my first 3 chapters encompass 27 pages, which is a little bit less than, you know, 50 pages. So my first 50 pages are the first 5.5 chapters. We go into chapter 6. But that's just how it works out. Did I fix this now? What happened was the formatting for the beginning of the chapters, where I have them at half a page to start the chapter. It sort of marked up as formatting. I did do 50 pages to a natural conclusion. So let's save that. Oh no. Let's save the full file. Save. Okay, nothing to do but to do it now. Whew, can't believe I'm doing this. Can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so nervous and I'm gonna get everything wrong. Okay, let us begin our first steps into the query trenches. Someone hold me. I just had a major existential crisis about the subject line in the email. Oh my God. I got to, oh, let's write in the subject line, and then went, what do I put in the subject line? No one specified what I needed to put in the subject line, and I went around like, oh my God, internet, tell me, what do I need to put in the subject line when I'm submitting my manuscript? And everyone was just like, when you're writing a query letter. And I'm like, but I'm not writing a query letter, so what do I do? And yeah, so big existential crisis there. We don't send in queries in England, we send in submissions. So submission, my name, the project's name and the project's genre is what I have put, and hopefully that's okay. So we've done that, and we're gonna continue with our first query submission now that that is over. I sent it. Oh my God, that's trip. First query sent. Oh my God. Okay, I am finally in the query trenches. It's official. It is official, and I'm, Jesus Christ. Now to do it 4 more times. It is done. And now we wait. So there we have it. I am officially querying my YA fantasy novel, Project Body Swap. I have sent out my submission to the first 5 agents, and now comes the terrible waiting to hear back with most likely bad but possibly good news. I can't believe I actually did that. Can't believe I actually did it. Like, I was really nervous, but once that first one sent, I was like, okay, cool, we're sent, we're on our way. And everything after that was a lot easier to do. Still completely, even though I have already double checked today and I wrote it down, still did go onto each website, and as I was forming the email, triple checked that I was actually sending the correct things and I was sending them what they asked for. Because I do not trust myself. I did that all those 5 separate times, even though I have looked once and checked, and before it's hard, but you need to be sure, because I don't want them to be like, oh, they didn't follow my rules and then just not read it. Like, I don't want that to happen. I don't get auto response for any of them, unfortunately, and not all of them actually give dates as to when they will get back, because they don't like to do so. I'm gonna assume 6 to 8 weeks before I start hearing back and sending my next ones off. So that was me officially entering the query trenches for the very first time. Let me know down in the comments below, have you ever queried your novels? Do you think you're close to being ready? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.